The 6-gallon air compressor has become the industry standard for general utility, do-it-all kind of air compressors. They're on job sites, in home garages, and there are a lot of different kinds to choose from. There are 2 Harbor Freight versions. There's Porter Cable, DeWalt, Rigid, Craftsman, Bostitch, and probably many, many more. But is a 6-gallon machine good enough for what you need? In this video, I'll demonstrate how a 6-gallon air compressor runs tools like an air drill, a die grinder, a cutoff tool, blowguns, tire inflator, and of course, an impact wrench. So here I have my lovely rim and tire that's been deflated to 20 psi. This is off of a Ford Ranger, so it's your average size tire. This took about 12 seconds to go from 20 psi up to 40 psi. So if you're looking for a compressor to handle inflating tires, this one's going to do a great job. And now the cutoff tool. So this is just a piece of threaded rod that I had in my shop that I threw in the vise. And here's the cutoff tool. I do have the regulator set at 90 psi, and this thing's doing a good job for maybe 5 or 6 seconds, and then it really starts to lose steam. I had to keep backing off, take it off the trigger for a few seconds, but in all honesty, although it did cut through this bar, not great machine for this kind of application. And up next, the die grinder. So the die grinder actually is a pretty good tool to use for a 6-gallon compressor. It does reach the cut-in pressure pretty quickly, but die grinders don't need a whole lot of PSI to operate. If you're just deburring a piece of metal like I'm doing here, you can pretty much run it continuously, and it does an okay job. Okay, next up is the air drill. Surprisingly, a 6-gallon compressor is a rock star to run an air drill like this. If you're drilling through soft wood, I certainly recommend this size air compressor. Although this did lose a little bit of power after 5 or 6 holes, it still drilled through this wood like a champ. I was able to drill 16 holes in this piece of wood, and that thing was still pushing. Air guns, blowguns, no problem for the 6-gallon compressor.
Now for nailing or stapling, this compressor will literally last you all day without the tank really even turning on. These are rock stars for nailing and stapling, and you can even hook up more than one gun and use it all day. Okay, and then you have an impact gun. You want to take the lug nuts off your wheel so you can get a wheel off your car. Will this compressor power an impact gun? Absolutely it will. For smaller applications, this thing does a really, really good job. I have a full-size Chevy pickup, and I also have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I've used this Harbor Freight impact gun with this compressor many times, and it's performed just fine. Now what about a hose reel? Yes, you can hook this machine up to a hose reel, as I do right now. But remember, these hoses are a lot bigger and are going to pull a lot more air than your traditional little coil hose. So be prepared for longer run times, and you're not going to be able to use this for a lot of heavy-duty applications with a big hose reel. Stick to nailing, stapling, things like that if you're going to be using a reel, or if you're going to be using it for automotive uses, really short bursts, it should do just fine. Well, I certainly hope that helped you guys understand what a 6-gallon compressor can do and kind of what it can't do. They're really good machines for most homeowners and most small shops. So if you're looking for a compressor, I would definitely recommend getting a 6-gallon for light-duty use, especially if you're considering a 3-gallon. Don't even get it, go for the 6. Smash that like button. Happy New Year, guys.